The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2 is set to premiere tomorrow on Prime Video, with a 3-episode debut that fans have eagerly awaited. As the release date approaches, reviews are flooding in, and it's time to break down what critics are saying about this highly anticipated continuation of the epic saga set in Middle-earth. To fully understand the reception of Season 2, we must first consider the mixed bag that was Season 1. When The Rings of Power debuted, it was met with a polarized response. The first season garnered an impressive 83 approval rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. However, the audience score was a dismal 30-80, largely due to a review-bombing campaign targeting the show's diverse casting choices. This backlash reflected broader societal issues rather than the quality of the show itself, but it undeniably influenced the public's perception. Beyond the controversy, Season 1 also faced criticism for its pacing, storytelling, and character development. While the show's production values were universally praised, Tolkien's world had never looked so stunning. The narrative didn't resonate as deeply with viewers. The Hollywood Reporter highlighted a concerning statistic: only 37% of viewers who started the series actually made it to the season finale. This raised questions about the show's ability to engage its audience despite its visual splendor. Given the challenges of the first season, the question on everyone's mind is whether Season 2 will course correct and deliver a more compelling experience. Early reviews suggest that while the show has made strides in some areas, it still grapples with lingering issues. At the time of writing, The Rings of Power Season 2 holds a slightly higher critical rating of 84 on Rotten Tomatoes. This marginal improvement hints that the show might be heading in the right direction, albeit slowly. For fans who enjoyed Season 1, this is likely good news. They can expect more of the same, but with some notable enhancements. One aspect of the show that continues to receive near-universal acclaim is its visual grandeur. The world of Middle-earth is brought to life with lush production design, breathtaking landscapes, and intricately detailed costumes. Critics have praised the show's ability to create an immersive experience that feels both epic and intimate. Helen O'Hara of Empire magazine lauded the new season as lavishly made, endlessly beautiful to watch and substantive enough to make you care, calling it fantasy at its absolute highest level. This sentiment was echoed by Ben Travers of IndieWire, who noted that while not every character moment hits its mark, the show excels at using the medium of television to build empathy and investment over time. One of the most significant criticisms of Season 1 was the lack of scale during its action scenes, a problem attributed in part to COVID-19 production constraints. However, it seems that Season 2 has addressed this issue, at least to some extent. Fiona Sturgis of the Financial Times mentioned that the new season brings a better balance of talk and action. This improvement is crucial for a series of this magnitude, where battles and grand set pieces are as important as the quieter, character-driven moments. As the story moves forward, it's clear that the showrunners are becoming more comfortable with balancing these elements, though not all critics are entirely convinced. Despite the visual improvements and a better balance between dialogue and action, The Rings of Power Season 2 still struggles with some of the issues that plagued its predecessors. Pacing, focus, and overall storytelling remain contentious points among critics. In a review for Variety, Alison Herman expressed disappointment that the heightened momentum in Season 2 didn't translate into a more engaging story. She described the season as gorgeous, yet flat as a kitchen backsplash, suggesting that the show's problems are deeply ingrained and unlikely to disappear anytime soon. This sentiment was shared by Angie Han of The Hollywood Reporter, who argued that the story feels as if it's shaped backwards from events we already know will need to transpire, rather than one driven forward by the motives and choices of its characters. This criticism points to a broader issue that many viewers have with prequels, the challenge of creating suspense and investment in a story when the audience already knows the ultimate outcome. In the case of The Rings of Power, the series must grapple with the weight of Tolkien's established lore, which can sometimes stifle creative storytelling. While some critics appreciate the slow-burn approach to storytelling, others find it frustrating. The pacing issues from Season 1 appear to persist, with some reviewers noting that the show still feels too slow in parts and too unfocused in others. This is a significant hurdle for a series that aims to capture the same level of engagement as its predecessors, The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies, both of which balanced world-building with tightly woven narrative. However, it's worth noting that not all fans or critics see this as a flaw. For those who enjoy being enveloped in a richly detailed world, the slower pacing allows for deeper exploration of Middle-earth's lore and history. The show's commitment to staying true to Tolkien's vision, even at the expense of pacing, may be seen as a virtue by die-hard fans of the source material. Another area where the Rings of Power Season 2 seems to falter is in character development and narrative focus. While the world of Middle-earth is vast and filled with potential, some critics argue that the show has yet to fully capitalize on its characters' stories. The sheer number of plotlines and characters can sometimes lead to a lack of focus, making it difficult for viewers to become fully invested in any one arc. This issue is compounded by the fact that the show is still laying the groundwork for future seasons, which can make the pacing feel uneven. In particular, some critics have pointed out that certain characters and their storylines feel underdeveloped, leaving viewers wanting more depth and complexity. This is a common challenge in ensemble casts, where the need to balance multiple storylines can sometimes result in uneven character development. Given the mixed reviews, the question remains, should viewers who were disappointed by Season 1 give the Rings of Power a second chance? The answer may depend on what you're looking for in the series. If you were drawn to the show for its stunning visuals and epic scope, Season 2 will likely continue to deliver on those fronts. The production values remain top-notch, and the world of Middle-earth has never looked more vibrant and alive. The improvements in action and scale also suggest that the show is growing into itself, finding a better balance between spectacle and story. However, if you were frustrated by the pacing and narrative focus in Season 1, you might find that these issues persist in Season 2. While there are signs of improvement, the show's slow burn approach and sprawling narrative may still be a barrier for some viewers. Ultimately, The Rings of Power is a series that demands patience and investment. It's not a show that offers immediate gratification, but rather one that unfolds slowly, inviting viewers to immerse themselves in its world over time. For those willing to embrace this approach, Season 2 may offer a more rewarding experience than its predecessor. As The Rings of Power continues to evolve, it's clear that the series is still finding its footing. Season 2 represents a step forward in some areas, particularly in terms of visual storytelling and action, but it also remains hindered by some of the same issues that plagued Season 1. For fans of Tolkien's world, the show's commitment to staying true to the source material, combined with its breathtaking production values, will likely be enough to keep them engaged. However, for those who crave a tighter, more focused narrative, The Rings of Power may still fall short of expectations. In the end, The Rings of Power is a show that aims to build something grand and epic, but it's doing so at its own pace. Whether that pace works for you will largely depend on your appetite for slow-burn storytelling and your love for the world of Middle-earth. Season 2 may not be a perfect continuation, but it offers enough to suggest that the best may still be yet to come.